Basic underlying principles for disclosures are that they are used to inform consumers, and the purpose is to ensure that there's no element of deception. They should be used to qualify claims, not to contradict claims. And disclosures generally set forth material terms or material exclusions or material limitations that consumers would want to know. So the question often becomes, what is a clear and conspicuous disclosure? Well, the FTC makes it clear that they prefer material information to be incorporated into the actual representation, the general representation. So what they would prefer to see is the limitations or exclusions made as part of it or in proximity to the general representation, rather than having to have a consumer look to the bottom of a website for disclosures. And again, it's important to note that disclosures can qualify or limit claims, but they cannot contradict claims. So what is clear and conspicuous? Clear and conspicuous means that it should find the consumer. Where marketers tend to get into trouble is by a recognition that a lot of times what marketers do, online marketers, is they'll place disclosures at the bottom of a website and say, well, everybody else does that. They just put mouse print disclosures below the fold. That is not going to be a defense if the FTC has problems with your disclosure. And they may have problems with the marketer's disclosure based on placement alone. So it should find the consumer. The FTC likes to say that the consumer should not have to find it. It should hit the consumer right between the eyes. The other thing to keep in mind with disclosures is that they shouldn't be relegated to website agreements. They should be conspicuous. They should set forth in clear language information that the consumer might want to know, so there's no element of deception. To the extent that disclosures are not right next to or adjacent to the triggering claim, which is preferable, the updated .com disclosure guidance provides that there should be visual cues to alert consumers to look for more disclosures and what the importance of that language might be. In terms of disclosures in video or in audio, the FTC.com disclosures clearly set forth that for video disclosures, they want to see clear and conspicuous language. They want to see the disclosure language perhaps on a scroll at the bottom of the screen, and it might have to be repeated depending upon the length of the video or the content of the video. In terms of audio disclosures, the regulatory guidance essentially states that the language should be clear and it should be made in a volume and cadence that's capable of being understood by a reasonable consumer. And generally speaking, for most of the regulatory guidance on advertising and marketing, most of these things are judged by a reasonable person standard.